All right, this is Savana from Clixsy, and very quickly here, I just want to go over identity verification. This is a new attorney-specific requirement for local service ads. It's an update that they're expecting to have completed by the end of 2024. This should be everything you need to know about it. So you might have already seen an email like you're seeing on the right here. I'll tell you everything we know over the course of this presentation. So first of all, like I said, this new requirement is attorney specific. It's going to be rolled out in 4 phases over the course of 2024. We'll go over what those phases are on the next slide. It's a verification check you'll need to pass alongside your license check. At an earlier point in time, they were requiring that attorneys complete background checks as well. If you've done a background check, you will still have to do an ID verification check. They're two separate things. So you should receive an email letting you know when it's your turn to go. You'll have 60 days to complete the verification. And our rep let us know that this could create an opportunity in the market because if you are on top of getting this verification done, if some of your competitors maybe don't, then that would create an increased opportunity for you to snatch up some of the leads that they're no longer getting. So these are the 4 phases that they're rolling out the new ID verification update in. So it's broken up by different states. Phase 1, you can see we've got Alaska, Delaware, DC, etc. Our rep told us that each stage is expected to last about 6 to 12 weeks. So once phase 1 is complete, we're going to move into phase 2, phase 3, and we're going to end on phase 4, which is going to be California, Florida, New York, and Texas. And again, they're anticipating that this entire update will be rolled out by the end of 2024. So every attorney should be verified by the end of 2024. I mentioned on a previous slide that you should receive an email notifying you when it's your turn to complete ID verification. This is a quick example of what that email will look like. You're going to see a notification that the change is coming first. Then you'll receive an email letting you know what date you need to pass the identity check by, when they sent out the email from Evident that's asking for your verification. Once you start verification, you'll have 30 days to complete it. The notification email will arrive 7 days prior to the process's initiation. So you get a lot of notice here. And this is a process that you will have to complete for any attorneys that you have featured on your profile. So any attorneys listed will have to make sure that their individual emails are updated, and they'll go and complete the ID verification that way. We'll go into more of the details there in just a moment. So what's the reason for this update? It ties back to a scandal, or more accurately, a series of scandals. So a big issue LSA has been running into lately is people are using rip-off GVPs, or people are creating these LSAs, but they're not actually verified. They're creating these kind of spammy duplicate listings. So we're thinking that this is just the first in a series of changes that LSA might be making in order to stem the flow of those spammy listings. So first things first, I'm going to walk you through the process of getting ready. So this is just a quick little guide on how you can adjust the professionals on your listing. So under the profile and budget section, you'll see a list of all your professionals. You can see that there's this pen icon to the right. This used to be the best way to edit your professionals. Now you will have to toggle them off and then back on again to view the pop-up that will show you what email is listed for them, as well as their name information. So if you complete the steps on the last side, you should see a pop-up like this. You want to make sure you check their name, their bar license number, and their email address. Make sure all that information is correct for the ID verification. We'll go into more of the specifics on that in a second. But if you need to update it, although it looks like you can update this information on this page, typically you can't. If you need to make a change, you're going to have to delete the professional altogether. If the professional fails the ID verification, you'll also need to delete them in order to resubmit them. There won't be an option to click resend email, retry verification. This is the only way forward there. So something really interesting to note about this process is that for the evident verification, they need names to match exactly. So you can see these examples here. If you go by Bella Charleston professionally, but your bar license is under Isabella Charleston, you would either need to submit for manual verification, or you would need to update the LSA to reflect your actual legal name. If a professional does need manual verification, you will have to submit your normal verification. It'll likely fail, Then you can reach out to Evident and let them know, hey, we tried to get our attorney submitted for this. They have a different name. We need a manual review here. This is still a process we're working the kinks out of. If you're a Clixsy client, you should be able to check in with us later. We'll have more feedback for you on how this can be handled because we know that a lot of attorneys have a different professional name than maybe their legal name. All right, so if you need to add an attorney to your listing, you can go to business verification, then select lawyers. You'll want to make sure again that that name matches exactly and add a valid email. So this is if you need to add an attorney that wasn't already on the listing, if an attorney fails and needs resubmission. This is something Lexi can handle for you. If you've noticed that an attorney has failed verification, I mean, ideally we'll pick up on that first. But if it's something you see, just reach out to us. We can handle this whole process for you. And once again, if an attorney fails, you're going to have to toggle off and on the attorney that needs re-verification. Then you'll need to go into the Edit Professional tab and delete them, then go back up to that business verification section and re-add them. All right, so then we've got some important notes here. These are sort of caveats. First of all, each attorney gets 3 chances to pass IDV. At that point, if they have not been approved, if they have not passed, they are no longer able to resubmit. So if you get to the second chance, obviously something's going wrong, have the attorney review, see if the evident email that they got back is explaining anything about why they're failing. If there's no easy fix there, if you can't figure out what's going on, you can always reach out to your Clixsy rep. We can go ahead and get a hold of evidence, see what needs to be done there. Accepted identification used in the IDV process would be a passport, an ID card, or a driver's license. The verification can take anywhere from an hour to a business day, and ID verification is required per account. So let's say you have one attorney who works at 2 different locations. If you get them approved on one LSA, they will still have to complete the ID verification for the other LSA. So, what's the best way to prepare for this? You want to ensure that you're not left behind here. So, you want to double check the email addresses listed for your attorneys. You want to make sure that it's going to their real valid email addresses and it's not something that's going to go to a third party because they will have to complete the ID verification themselves. Clixsy recommends limiting your attorneys to just the face of the firm. This has always been an optimization suggestion, but we are also recommending it now because it limits the amount of attorneys who are going to have to complete ID verification. So again, toggling the featured button will allow you to edit your email address. You can always reach out to your Clixsy rep for help. We're going to be combing through these accounts and making sure that all the information listed under your attorney is correct. And last but certainly not least, do not miss that email. We will be after you if you forget about it, if it goes missing. We're here to help you however you need every step of the way and make sure that your accounts are performing as successfully as possible. Okay, well, that about covers ID verification. If you have any questions, if you have any concerns, feel free to reach out anytime, and you can trust that we will be getting a hold of you as needed to get this process completed. All right, thank you so much.